and so like kind of suggestive, like sexually suggestive kind of.
Adults only folk.
Yeah, and so he has. He's a really nice guy.
Sounds like R.
So I don't know if that's a meeting thing or just to talk to you. I don't really know what the next step is. Like if you want to choose a date, he has a couple of potential dates.
Yeah, I mean you're basically official now.
So then how do I?
Because you've been trained on everything, right?
Yeah, so I can just sign up for something.
Have you ever done anything in MyFly?
I have like signed up for volunteer stuff, but I haven't like
because you need to be officially just checked off that you can book it.
Okay.
And then you'll be able, the calendar will appear in MyFly for you, and you'll be able to go in there and reserve a date.
Okay.
I can show you after the meeting.
Okay, cool.
Just like set up a new date.
Is the show starting now?
No, it's happening in there. We're just
starts at 8.
Yeah, it's at 8 o'clock.
Are you here to see the show?
Okay.
What's the show tonight?
I'm not sure.
You have the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any agenda items?
We're just here because we want to try and start a benefit concert for the victims of Japan, and we contacted someone named Erica, and she said there's a place to start.
Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Guys,
was Sarah last night too. I remember seeing a poster on a pole that said the name of the band that was playing Flywheel was Flywheel Intercourse.
Was what?
Flywheel Intercourse.
Recently?
No.
That's like goes up there with Corpse of Christ for band names that play.
Fuck is ahead.
Yeah, that's very good.
Sick.
Jeremy, but I'm sort of had interest on and off from the outside. And then infiltrate once in a while.
Cool. Any announcements that don't fit into this agenda here? There's a fun kids show next Saturday at 1 o'clock with the expandable brass band, of which I'm a member.
Oh yeah.
Should be loud and fun. And it's like a street band, horns, drums, noise. So if you have kids, come by. At noon we're gonna do like we're gonna teach the kids some of our songs so they can join us during the actual show. So should be fun.
Yay.
Yeah, that sounds like a bum.
And the other show I'm doing, the Year Punk Broke screening of that documentary, is a fundraiser for Flywheel, and we've been selling tickets online. I don't know how many we've sold, a dozen or maybe a little more.
When's that?
April 11th, Monday, April 11th. That should be fun. And Thurston Moore and Bill Dwight are gonna come and do like commentary.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be fun.
Do you have a Facebook page for that?
No.
Do you want me to make
Oh,
one?
nice.
Sure.
What was weird about the last night's show, the Facebook page kept being not accessible for periods of
public?
time.
That was Facebook, I think.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't-
just I hadn't really seen that on other pages, but I noticed it a couple times with that page when I was.
There was something else I was trying to get to that was unacceptable too. I can't remember when. It was probably around the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's all funky since they sort of have switched like the way the pages are laid out, the navigation and stuff, and I think it's causing little bugs. It's like you can't anyways. I think it was just a Facebook thing. I don't think it was that page. Or it was every page that I was trying. All the Western Mass pages were
Yeah.
not working out.
Cool. All right. Any other random announcements? All right. So cafe, leading up to the Elephant Six show, which was last Sunday, which we had pre-sold a bunch of tickets and it had sold out, and we've kind of had this half-assed cafe for a while. We were meaning to use that show as like a deadline to get. This is a lot more reminiscent of our old cafe. So we bought an industrial coffee maker. We built this cafe bar thing. We bought some supplies, and we're found out, we bought some stuff from the co-op, but I found out where our distributor used to be, North River Naturals.
Oh yeah.
Ri-
Mac.
It was in
Mac?
Burlington, or Brattleboro,
Right.
and they were, so I found that, and they're still around, so we can, next
cool.
time we can order from them, and they have all the stuff we want. So yeah, basically, and Cindy had approached us about maybe getting up and running, but I don't know what you had in mind versus what. This is basically going to be the same as it was before, which is have it staffed, volunteer, and Matt Switlowski is going to, I think, handle the stocking, keeping it, ordering, and Tessa had found someone for some good coffee, so we've got a coffee distributor.
The only thing I wanted to do was basically start what you had said before. Somebody was interested in doing like a little strictly business thing, right? So I thought, well, this would be a good time. I didn't know you guys had a meeting that you were all like set,
Yeah, kind of.
But a friend of mine and I thought, well, this would be a good opportunity to go in and just start basically just doing exactly the way that it was before. Start really slow, not really changing fast, but just making money, putting back into it, doing some type of either a profit sharing or rent deal or some type of something that would work for both of us. So we never really wrote up a proposal because we really weren't sure what you guys were doing. So
this, I'll tell you the history, the brief history about my idea, and we talked about it at meetings, and some people actually came forward with proposals, which was that this would be run by a third party or second party, I guess, and it would just be here, and they would any investments into the space, like if you wanted to put in sinks or an exhaust fan for a stove or something, would be done by the person, and then in exchange for that, you'd get like free rent until you paid it off. So say you put in $5,000 worth of plumbing or whatever. It would 18 months, I think. I think this room is like 600 something.
Really?
A month.
Wow.
So in theory, in the future, the rent would be about 300, and at 300, I think I figured out like it would take like 18 months or something. If you say 5,000, if you put that much in to pay off, and then that way, if you decide you don't want to do it after 18 months, you've gotten 18 months of free rent, but we keep the stuff, the sinks and all that, so you don't.
So you weren't thinking about profit sharing at all. You were just thinking about what we used to.
Yeah, and then you would just rent it for $300 a month after that, and then you run it how you want to run it. I mean, if you want to do profit sharing, you could, I guess, but I don't know how.
Well, because what interested me too was I think it could be worked out in a way that could help Flywheel as well, besides just the rent, because I mean, like if it's starting out slow, I mean the potential is that it could grow just like Flywheel did, and if it's just started out just moving slowly, and it seems like it would be a good opportunity because, I mean it doesn't have to end with just coffee and soda and stuff like that, obviously, and I obviously imagine it being successful and that's some way that it can help Flywheel. Also, I was also thinking about Michael's economic model and using his coffee, E2M coffee, and somehow working that into the whole thing, as a long-term goal. So those are some of the ideas I was playing with. The other thing, I mean, it can get complicated too because I can't be here on nights where there's only going to be 2 people. You know what I'm saying? Like because my time, I can't just come and hang out and just keep the place open. If the show, of course, we would help with advertising for shows. That would it could and if it was
and a lot of that's hard to predict. You never
right.
know what the turnout's going to be. You can talk to. I mean, my vision for it was that whoever did it would be marketing the cafe as a cafe.
Right.
So in theory, if there was a show that drew 4 people, you would be getting the word out that hey, we're open during every show, and you can come in even if you don't want to go to the show.
Right.
That takes a while, obviously, to build up. And there's also the built-in audience of the family center and Jazzercise.
Sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah. There's that, and then Art Walk. And
Art Walk.
I mean, I think the potential is huge.
Yep.
But it depends. I mean, so you guys are just staying at this sort of level. You're not gonna,
Yeah.
but you would be interested if someone came in and did more than that. It sounds like.
I think so, yeah. I mean, we had entertained it. We went so far as someone came in, she
Right.
met with Leclerc, Dennis,
Right.
and he's the health inspector, and he gave her all the specs on what she needed to do and all that. So,
Right. And that's what they were saying.
yeah,
about
so
all the
that's,
sinks
you
and
know, she
everything.
got that far and then she
Right.
just couldn't
Right.
work out monetarily for her.
Well, I just wasn't sure because like if you got, I wasn't sure how far you wanted to take it, you know, because
This is
you know,
basically it.
this is.
I mean,
this
we
is where
might
you
have
wanna
prepared
leave, but
foods off-site brought in by someone, but
Yeah.
it's someone, no one's really, other than Matt doing the ordering, no one's like doing anything else in terms of a vision and coordinating.
I think we'd all like to see it eventually get
Yeah.
the sinks. I was really excited when that woman came in with her proposal and she wanted to bake these lovely treats and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that would be great, but I think we don't have the money to put the sinks in now.
Well, see, that would be
Which is really
the
what
thing.
has to happen to go up a level is the sinks need to go in.
Yeah.
Is if I did something like this, it wouldn't happen right away because I don't have the money to put the sinks in either. It
Right.
would have to be something where I start to make some money, and the money that I make, some of the money that I make goes back into the business. You know,
Right.
I mean, it would so be like a Flywheel startup.
Could also have some fundraisers.
Fundraisers, like you had some ideas on fundraisers, you know, and I think, like I said, I think that, like, you know, I don't think I could do it alone. I think I would have to have somebody else help me with it, you know. So.
But your friend.
Heather, yeah, I haven't. She had some things happen in her life, so I don't know. I haven't spoken to her as far as where she stands with this, since the last the last email.
Do you know what the estimate was that the first woman got? I feel like the number
Estimate for
like how much of investment she would need for the stoves that she was putting in, like for her plan.
I don't know if she did that finite estimate. I know she had gotten as far as finding out from the health inspector what she needed to do, and she was starting to investigate. You know, you can get pretty thrifty in terms of finding used sinks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's really the labor of the plumbing is what
Right.
costs.
Well, yeah, they just gotta find a plumber who's willing to put the used sinks in,
Yeah.
because that's the problem that we have. I mean, we have the used sinks.
That's true. That's true.
They're just-
But the one we had was really bad. I mean, that art sink we got that.
Well, there was that one. There was the handicapped accessible sink that we
And now
got
that we're
the
here,
therapists put into, because like all the plumbing sizes change, and
Right.
especially it's an old system
Older
they have to
stuff.
go into. So I don't know. The people I talked to, they just wanted to put in their own things if they
Yeah.
knew what it was and what size it was going to be, and then it was going to fit all the other things that
Right.
they had going. But I mean, you might be able to get a good deal on that, or
Yeah.
somebody willing to do it. I don't know.
And now that you're here, like, you have to have a license going. It's not like the old space where you can just have Mark come in and do it.
All right, we're all like that.
Yeah.
What?
This is kind of on the cafe subject, but I had a friend, Mark and his wife Jerry, who have Bread Euphoria, and they mentioned that if people ever want Dales, that you could have free Dales, like they have like pastries and cookies and breads and stuff. Because Flywheel's a nonprofit, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I thought so, and so
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, so anybody wants
You
to.
could sell them for like half or something, or would we
Yeah.
have to give them away?
Oh no, I don't think you
You
have
don't
to
have
give
to,
away
yeah.
now. So
Just
Well, I mean, there's like so much to talk about, and and it would require a huge, quite a bit of work. I mean, the other thing, what I was thinking was like having a convection oven,
Yeah.
maybe like, and the big thing that I thought of too was popcorn, because this has such a huge profit margin, and it could be fun. It could have different toppings, and even be sold out front on busy nights and stuff like that. So because I was trying to think of ways to make to really make money, large profit margin.
I think popcorn was A-okay without any additional hardware needed, really. It's like the hot dog machine that sits on the way there, like the things that you can do, that you can sell.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, popcorn, the hot dog things, like things they have at bars
right.
are like all totally.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have an all natural
I think
hot dog or the tofu dog.
Something, I forget.
Until you-
We should go
Pretzels with
meet them
mustard.
again, but-
Until you get into frying, I think you're pretty much can do a lot. You can just get an oven and bake stuff in it, I think.
Really?
Technically, the coffee is kind of like a borderline thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you go to talk to somebody, maybe don't mention what's going on.
No,
Yeah.
no, I won't do that. I know Dennis.
Yeah, although my friend, she got all forewarned about how evil he was and what a tough cook he was, but she had actually done some research, and you have to take this food service license, which is just, it's really easy. Anyone can get it, and she had already taken it, and she went in there and he was really impressed. So if you kind of make the effort and it's clear you're making the effort, then I think he respects that.
Okay.
They could.
What? I injured.
This gentleman here is filming.
Yeah, I know.
If you can talk to him.
I know the deal.
So you know.
So that's good to know. But I just wanted you to know too that if this did happen, I wasn't gonna come in here and just start putting sinks in and dumping a bunch, putting a bunch of money into it that I don't have. We have to start slow, like I was saying earlier, Chris. We have to be like a flywheel.
This is something. Yeah, I mean, I think that we would definitely be willing to work with it and see what we could put into it and have you guys do whatever you can do as you start doing stuff, because obviously it's going to be a really slow start, but as it continues to grow and stuff, I mean, because having regular hours and having tables out in the front during the summer, the foot traffic's going to start to grow and stuff. It's definitely going to be something that can build up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to take up all your time with this. I have to talk.
Did you write a proposal or anything?
No, because we don't know what exactly, because I didn't know where you guys stood as far as I thought that you wanted to get something started up, but you did. You got the cafe, you got the coffee maker, so you got to where you were when we first started.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought you were looking for. I knew you wanted to go a little further than that, but I just thought that you were looking for that to get that started, and you got that started.
Well, I think another thing though is that having somebody here, if either you would be able to be here during hours during the day, is going to be something that helps everybody. It's going to help float in the building. It's going to help other things just people who want information about Flywheel or anything else like Family Center. So it's everybody's benefit to have it go on. It just we just got to figure out how it can work best.
Could you sell other products too, bags of coffee, and other a little bit? I think that would be a good idea.
And I mean, there could be ways where we can all kind of talk to their cafes and compliment each other. I mean, it's not like it's there is a competitive thing because of capitalism, but there could be a way where community ways to work together.
We can be different too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the same as everybody else, And I mean, it's already different here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I think that that gives me this.
But I mean,
I have a better idea of where you guys stand with it now, because I was really confused as to what was going on. So now I think about it.
Our general idea though is basically we're putting into the hands of people with their idea for the cafe, and as long as it works with our goals for the room, it's kind of in everybody's interest to try to make it work.
Yeah.
Right, and also what I was talking earlier about was doing maybe some kind of profit sharing, because I would like to see it help Flywheel, if it grows. I want, because say it starts doing really well, right, and then we're still paying $300 a month for rent.
It's a great deal.
Really, so it would be sort of it would be everybody's responsibility to make everything work, not just the cafe, not
the
just
thing
Flywheel,
the thing that was always stuck in the back of my head was that somebody could use this as an opportunity to get a business started really easily, because it's very low overhead, except for the putting in the sink stuff, and then move it somewhere down the road, and then we're kind of stuck with, all right, who are we going to find as a new cafe thing? Yeah. And that happened several times with Pace. I just wanted to make sure whoever was in it was committed to trying to work with us. And you already have a lot of history with the organization, so I think it's a good fit. We could just got to try to figure out how it can work best.
Alright, we should move on.
Yeah.
But keep checking in.
Yeah.
This is just kind of float on as it has in the past.
Big improvement over the
It's
fancy
thing.
thing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Helpful to know.
It's really awesome
to do it.
Yeah.
Very
Cool.
exciting.
Signage.
Okay, my husband Peter's on the City Space board, and
they're the, for those of you who don't know, they're the basically the mediator between the city and us. They're like the kind of the nonprofit landlords who run the building, city space.
Yeah, and so they, so he's sort of heading up, getting some signage for out front, and the idea right now is to put it on the railings. And so I'm going to just pass around. This is a mock-up that he did. Actually, this is you can send them together, but this was a darker one, but he decided to kind of reverse it out and do a. So it's the idea is to do the one with the lighter brushed metal. It's going to be brushed aluminum and slightly curved, and so it's not going to you'll make more sense when you see this. Right now there's some kind of little fun little music and theater signs, but those aren't.
No.
He just had stuck those
Oh
in there.
wow,
for
that's
decorative,
great.
But those aren't going to be there. These little faces and music stuff aren't going to be there.
Okay.
But it's so this is what the current thought is, to do the light metal with the logos on them.
The metal's awesome.
Yeah.
And I still think
It's kind of
that
curved.
because for some reason I thought that it was just going to start with just between where JP's sign is right now at like the top of the stairs, but
Amy
that's like
had talked about that, but
Yeah.
I think that it's shifted. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the
So
current
what?
idea.
How and how did they land on this?
Well, originally the thought was to do banners, but I guess banners they can only be up a certain amount of days of the year. And
it's
there's
like a
just all
town
these,
code thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like 30 or 60 days out of the year. It's like, and so there are some restrictions about square footage for signs and stuff like that. And this, what he has in this mock-up is maybe a couple of feet over, so they might have to be
Reduced.
just like tiny bit reduced. And so he's really busy. He would have liked to do more exploring, but he hit upon this, and people like it, and so that's the current idea. And
Is there still an idea for a freestanding sign as well, or is that?
I don't know. I'd have to ask him. He just when I said I was
'Cause I
coming
think,
here, he asked to bring
I think
this along,
having
but I don't really
something
know the
that
whole
where we
conversation.
could have family center and
Basically, people
Yeah.
who aren't permanent
Yeah.
tenants but come and go.
because my idea is that if we originally had the thing where there could be the vinyl thing in the front, if we had like an extra kind of like a the things that you can put a loop
Sliding.
into. No, like even like a lanyard type thing where you could just clip in the like family center into the
Oh.
bottom, like an extra little thing that slips on.
You mean like
And
the hook?
yeah, like a hook thing where you just clip it in with like the holes and the bottom of the sign, and then just put that in that way, and that way like family center can stay on seasonal when they're doing stuff.
Yeah.
And if Jazzercise want to put their thing up, they could do it.
Yep.
Yeah, or we talked about things inside. I mean, the family center's been trying to direct people to the family center at Flywheel,
Yeah.
because there
Yeah.
is reason not to have the sub renters on something permanent. I mean, I don't know. So we had always said there was going to be a second sign that would have room for those. It's all good.
It's all good.
The hub
Chamber.
members, most people wanted the black and white sign, I think, or actually there was like a couple of. So this logo shouldn't be finalized. That's something else. Amy, I'll send it.
So it'll
So
be
would they-
it'll be a sign that's white with the black back or
Well, I don't know.
what?
Remember I sent
Okay.
around a while
Yeah,
ago?
because I think having the black sign will look less striking. I think having it like white
You want
with
the
the
color.
black print will probably be easier than.
Yeah, the darker one, there was some feedback that it just seemed too dark and it wasn't really standing out, and so that's when he tried the lighter one, and he
So
I
maybe
like the color logo.
yeah.
If anyone,
I'm
I
more-
can send it around again. It's just,
I'm more
maybe
concerned
when you
Flywheel,
see it.
the logo itself.
Yeah, because the flywheel could just be
Color
black and
versus-
white, and
Yeah, it
then
could
and
be,
then and then
yeah.
it could just be a white sign with flywheel written on it,
Or
which I think
there
will
was a couple other color
be
options
sufficient.
too.
because I feel like the
black and white's fine.
yeah, because I think a black background is just a little bit too like
So
certain
black and white
days,
logo
yeah.
on a lighter metal.
Yeah,
I'm more concerned with it integrating into the building itself.
yeah.
What we have up there is fine.
and does someone have an EPS of the logo or a high res version of
I'll
it?
send you what I have. I don't know if I have it high enough, but I can
That wouldn't
also.
blow up that big, but
We could
thought maybe
work
there's
with it
also
though,
shoot the sign.
There's also plenty of big things you could scan in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we have PDFs of the logo on our website, and then we could just have somebody adjust it who's like a designer who could like maybe go to even Paradise or somewhere.
we
I
might
have a bunch of copies of logo
Yeah.
files. I don't know if I have it big
We
enough.
have, I think, print just on pieces of paper, photocopies of it that could be rescanned at higher res.
Yeah. mean, the thing about the logo is that it's like, you know, you could just draw it again in Photoshop if you have to. That's what I did. Like, I think I made one I don't know how big it is, but I think one.
Using like the font and everything, or just the actual.
Just this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the flywheel.
Yeah, that's exciting because I mean it's
I
definitely
can
giving the
draw
space
flywheel again.
more. It kind of helps with the space's identity because, like, you know, right now it's got all this history in the building.
I think we don't care. We just want to sign.
Yeah, we just like having something that, like, you know, for JP and East Hampton City Arts and East Hampton Cultural Council and us, it's definitely essential having something that people can identify with it.
Yeah.
And maybe some lights too. So is that, you know, if that's happening.
I'll have to check. Yeah, I'm not really.
There's those
sure,
Christmas
but
lights we can plug in.
I haven't been in the conversation, but I think that I've heard something about lights.
Cool. So is that for that?
Yeah.
Just briefly while we're on building stuff before we get to this, bathrooms. Did those get
The
looked
men's
at?
room's not doing good. Last night I turned the toilet off. It was running the entire night and it was flooded. So I turned the water off in that bathroom.
I've communicated
Yeah.
it out, and Jared keeps like putting another paper.
'Cause
clip
what's
on,
happening
and it
is,
works sometimes.
Like
and then it
I
gets
think what it's
stuck
doing
open.
now is it's shooting water out right by where the flusher thing
Oh,
is,
yeah.
and it's like I don't.
Did you look in there?
Yeah.
It's totally like MacGyver, like,
Yeah, it's
you know,
bad.
dental
Yeah.
floss and like
Whatever he could
anyway.
do.
An
Yeah.
old piece of rope or something.
You know, that's really funny because he was off one day and our toilet's been running. He was off one day. I called. He was off. They sent another guy, Brian. They came, bought the new part.
Yeah,
put it in,
cool.
The toilet runs perfect.
Wow. We gotta get in touch with Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our guy now.
I was complaining about that. And
Remember
he
that
took the
name,
sign off
mental
saying
note.
It's fixed, and I'm like, it's not fixed.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not fixed.
Man, you just gotta put another coat
And
of
I'm like,
grease.
it's dripping. And
Gold
that's
spray
what
paint
else
on the
is
chair
there.
upstairs.
Talk to our landlords about that. So Japan benefit.
Okay, well, one day we were talking and we were talking about the crisis in Japan and how we wanted to do something about it rather than watch it on television and not do anything. So we came up with the idea of doing a benefit concert. But the problem was, like, where are we going to do it? So he told me about this place where you don't have to pay to perform or anything like that. And where we come from is a performing arts school, and that's where I thought we would start. We would ask our musicians and our dance groups, do you want to perform? And I'm pretty sure they'd be up for it. They're great people. And then we would go to our community and go around using Facebook, MySpace, and just contacting local bands and asking if they would like to perform. And yeah.
Are you from PVPA?
Yeah, PVPA. And we also want to work with the Red Cross.
Okay.
But before we use the Red Cross as our, you know, giving them our money, we have to contact you guys and see if it's possible so that we can give our proposal to them so they can say it's okay that we use their name. So that's why we're here to discuss.
Do you have dates in mind? That's one thing that'll be.
Yeah, that's why we're here, to find out how we can do that.
Because we could basically, normally if you want to become a booker here, you go through all this training and then you could do shows. But this is like a one-time thing, so we also have a booking committee that can.
We could book the
book
event
it.
for you.
The booking committee would like sponsor it within Flywheel, and then you guys, you know.
We would donate the space for. Normally there would be like a small like fee or something,
Yeah.
but we would just give it because
Because
it's
it's
a great.
benefit, yeah. So, and we would, you know, make sure, we would probably handle the sound and the cafe maybe, and then you guys could probably get someone to do the door and collect money, and help with, obviously the promotion and flyers and all that. You guys could handle that. And we'll have it on our website and our calendar and stuff.
And I mean, that's something where we could also even like, we could give you a couple contacts for local papers, a couple emails, and
Yeah.
that could get like out in a couple of the papers, and it'll definitely get a good response.
Yeah.
The only thing concerning, I think, is it could be a point where we almost have to turn people away because it could be a big enough event where it could be capacity.
And how much were you thinking of charging?
We didn't really have anything in mind.
I mean, you could do flexible. You could
Yeah.
do like $5-10, whatever people can give, and
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people will be very generous.
Yeah. You could also do a suggested, you know, you could put it on the flyer, suggested 5 to 10, or
Yeah.
or you could say nothing on the flyer and say suggested donation, and then make a pitch the night of the show, and people might write checks for $100.
Yeah.
You never know.
And another thing is, if we need help, we have tons of friends that
Yeah.
would be like really helpful.
The only thing I think that would be good is try to get an idea of how many performers you're gonna have music-wise, and if they're gonna do a couple songs each or full sets. If people can bring equipment that bands can share, so that eliminates people having to set up all their gear,
Yeah.
and then like just to get like a time frame of how the night will go and like how long you want to do them, and if you want to start like maybe earlier, like 6:30 or 7, and go till 10 p.m. or whatever your schedule is.
Do you have any idea of when you're thinking, like the next month, 3 months, in the summer?
I think we were thinking sooner than later before it really escalates further or where it blows over.
We can look at the calendar.
Do you want me to take a quick look
Sure,
to see?
sure.
All right.
Did you have a date? You probably want to do it on a weekend? Or?
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
And so you've already talked to the Red Cross?
No, the Red Cross asked for a proposal and where we're gonna do it and all these details, and that's what we have to figure out with you guys before we talk to Red Cross.
Yeah.
You may just check and see if they're taking specific donations for Japan, where you might need to just donate to their general fund,
Yeah.
which would then go to help Japan and Haiti and other, places locally and abroad. So if you really want it to be a Japanese only, there are organizations that take it. The Red Cross may or may not be taking specific Japanese donations. I have a couple friends who live in Japan who sent me a link for a place that was accepting donations for them because they said that it's just kind of tricky.
Yeah, I think the Red Cross can't. It's part of their policy not to accept.
Because they want to put it where the need is.
Yeah, accept it from a specific place, and they just sort of don't discriminate. They put it all in a giant pot and go where it goes. I think.
Yeah, the reason I looked into the Red Cross is because I know that they were doing a lot of work with the Japanese Red Cross specifically, and so that was a really good way to integrate the funds throughout the actual Japanese community.
Right.
But definitely open to questioning.
Cool. So we'll look at a date, and then you guys can continue working on that. Chris could be your contact, and you can email him back and forth once dates solidify.
I'm sure we'll get some volunteers to help you staff it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's thinking about the time. You don't want to get too many bands, basically. But if you want a bunch of bands, just do shorter sets. Because our curfew is 11. So as long as you're done by 11, you can go a little bit over. Map out the night and try and be done by 11. It's probably a good idea. So yeah, cool.
I just realized no one's taking notes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it?
I
Can
was
you
thinking
transcribe
it's-
this?
Oh
Just post them on.
Yeah, it's perfect because like I always have a hard
Walter
time.
was trying to get something like that going, and he actually set up like an audio recorder that was going to transcribe it into notes. And
Really?
Yeah, it did really happen.
Well, this is good because I always have a hard time, telling people what I heard in the meeting or like
Yeah.
when I talk to Heather, at least I can say, hey, kind of tape,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can hear what these guys really want.
View the
for exactly.
YouTube of the
Yeah.
meeting.
Are we done on that one?
Yeah, so we'll get a date before you guys leave.
You guys know Chris?
Get your email.
Now.
You do now. Do you
Yeah.
know anybody, other hub members? Or
Uh,
any other Flywheel people?
Not directly. I know of some people, parents of siblings and
Yeah.
siblings' parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know any of the ward laws?
Yeah. Yeah.
They would probably play.
Yeah.
What year are you?
We're juniors.
Do you know Paul and Nehemiah?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll get a date for that. Art walk.
So anyways, because I was thinking I just wanted to go out and note. So I've gotten a lot of stuff for the portraits show for, and then I was just thinking the other day, like, oh, I don't have any music going, so I was just gonna throw it out there to see if anyone had any ideas for music that might go with the Lady theme for Art Walk, which is a mellower. It's not part of the Lady Fest show. It's usually kind of a mellower.
And this is the weekend before.
The
right?
9th, yeah, the weekend before. So it's either thinking, either somebody playing acoustic or, if we don't come up with anything, then we'll just make Bob make
There was
some
this
kind
woman jazz singer who played at one of the art walks last year.
There's this woman who sang in the band Petulant Child, and she wanted to perform at Lady Fest but wasn't able to. I'm gonna think of her name in a second. Sarah. She's from
Yeah.
Holyoke, and she would be totally into playing.
Think she'd
and
want to play Art Wild?
Yeah,
That'd be
she would be
great.
totally cool with it. And she does these acoustic songs that are kind of like fast punk songs, but they're pretty cool music.
Would she need any kind of sound person or anything? Or
Not really like a microphone. Like I could help with it.
Could you help?
But
with
we
it?
just we would just
It's a
set it
Saturday
up.
the 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything big.
It's
And, like when she
yeah.
played here before, she sounded really good, and she was really into performing. I would just have to check and see if she's available that day, but I'm pretty positive she could work.
That would be great.
So I have
Yeah.
a few dates for you guys to think about. April 10th, which is
Do
very
you want a
soon,
pen?
maybe that's too soon. But also Friday and Saturday, the 23rd and 24th of April, and then May 8th, which is a Saturday.
Which is
May 8th
2
is
days
a
after
Saturday.
Gay Pride.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Sunday. It's
I'm
my
pretty
birthday.
Oh, really?
No, wait.
I'm April.
May 8th is a Sunday.
Oh, it is? I
Yeah.
thought we just looked
Yeah.
over your shoulder and
Yeah,
it was
sorry.
May 8th.
But it's
The calendar's confusing 'cause
it's
it
open.
starts
It
Yeah.
starts on Monday.
Yeah, it's because I think the 7th might be booked, but the 8th, which is a
so that was
Sunday.
Sunday. So
Yeah.
what was there?
The other days, I think the Saturdays is booked, but yeah, I think it was the 22nd and 20th.
Yeah,
How much
yeah,
have
that's
you
what
so far?
Maybe a couple G's, cause
Well, the Smith.
yeah, the
You
Smith
saw
one
that
is
email.
yeah,
That got reduced. Originally it was like we were up to like 1,500 or something, but
but with Smith stuff, maybe right now we're up to 1,000.
Yeah.
But we gotta check this the other day, so
Smith is
$25. I have an extra.
Yeah.
Smith is getting money for the show that happens at Smith.
Oh, cool.
So we're sort of fundraising separately from the Smith thing. And I think
but
just
now,
us alone
now some
have
of our
raised
money may
about
have to be used for the Smith thing, but we'll evaluate it. Yeah.
we've raised about like 550 committed. so
And
far.
there's some other businesses that are getting back to us that seem pretty positive they're gonna donate. So
So,
So you had talked to
well,
some
my
people?
question is, I signed up for more people on there, but like I didn't
Heads up.
know. So if it's blank on that Google Doc,
Yep.
then really nobody has done anything about it.
Nobody's asked.
Aaron is updating
or,
that.
or we
So
may have or
all
we
the
may
things
have
that have
given-
your name
yeah.
on it were left. No one's done
Yeah.
it.
No one's done.
Because there's some
Including
things that
like
are blank.
Harold's. I just
Yeah.
signed up for Harold's
Okay.
and the Northampton Brewery and the Haymarket and Greenfield Market. Because my friend's the president of the board, and she said that they really mainly focus on Franklin County
Yeah.
and food stuff. So I'm not gonna pursue.
Yeah.
that.
Whatever you do, just put it in the Google Doc.
Yeah.
Everyone will know.
And
'Cause I also
Did you get an email from Erin by any chance?
about phone calls. Yeah,
Oh,
and I
okay.
told her that it would be good if she could contact. I dropped something off for Sheldon Falls. I don't know anybody there. I feel more comfortable going to people that I
Yeah.
know, you know. So I said she could if she wanted to call them to follow up. But I still have to, go to Manning Cafe and Nini's. I dropped one off for.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I put, and Mark wouldn't have done that. Mark from Bread Euphoria said, if X-ray specs was 500, I would have given 500.
wow,
He gave 25.
it's still really cool though, because I mean they're like pretty small business
loves-
still. So
He
it's-
loves He
Yeah.
gave 25 for X-ray specs.
I wish that we had X-ray specs at 500
I know.
next year.
Yeah.
He was kidding, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the idea was,
Yeah.
they're like,
But Janet, who owns the Northampton Brewery, is one of my clients that I take care
Okay.
of her garden in the summertime. So I hope I wasn't unprofessional. I Facebooked her.
No.
I messaged her. We're friends of it, but I messaged her with a link to the letter to see if she'd look over that and see if there's anything she could do.
Cool.
So that's really. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't
No.
no.
We were
As long as you're,
yeah.
we just need communicate with us what
Yeah.
you've done.
Like
haven't
when
done,
you
so
when you
we
get
know.
answers, we'll take into account and try to talk to a couple more people. But pretty much, I think we decided that like we're gonna try to ask a couple more things and see how it goes. And like, because I mean, there's certain people that might get back to us and get something, but right now we feel like from that we just have to evaluate like how we have to get everything like balanced, with like the money that we need and what we have.
Yeah, I think most of the bands are happy playing for gas money.
Yeah.
Money made at the show. We
Because
just
getting food
wanna have a
donations
focus on-
already worked out good, so that was cool because we weren't sure how that was gonna work at first. And
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't say Brad. Mantis Graphics couldn't do anything, but he said he would do a T-shirt deal.
Yep.
Like he did before. That's what he could do.
We were talking about that at the meeting.
We're gonna try to
getting
figure out
t-shirts.
pricing options.
I can't go to the Friday thing, but I want one of my Flywheel shirt to have the Lady Fest things silk screened on it.
Our idea is
But, like,
to
the schedule?
yeah.
No,
the screen.
The silk screening.
Yeah, we might do it.
Workshop.
We might do it
Some of
another day too, because Megan might bring the screen here on Saturday.
Okay,
What we're
good.
gonna do is have people bring their T-shirts, and we're gonna try to find a way to make a clothesline in the ballroom, so that way people can hang their shirts and dry them after their screens.
Or what are you
I was
doing?
gonna say, can we bring a few of the
This
ones
is-
that
we're
are
doing-
We're gonna
Screen
we're gonna make a
workshop on
Lady
Friday.
Fest screen
Oh, really?
and have people bring
That's
shirts
good.
to screen.
You mean for the Lady Fest?
Yes.
for the part at Smith that the workshop's gonna be. So can we just bring like a pile of these shirts and just put it underneath the Flywheel logo or something? and sell
Totally.
them?
Sure.
And what's gonna be a Lady Fest thing?
Yeah, we have like a design I think we're working on. Probably be just like a one color screen.
Cool.
Yep.
And is there anything else that we were still discussing that we had to like talk about with the collective? I don't really think so. The only thing is like we'll just have to put a call out for volunteers. There'll be days like Saturday and Sunday where we might want to have people who can help out with just staffing
or
stuff and
cafe or something.
even just hanging out the Flywheel table or stuff.
And I think at this point, I know, is it Saturday where the high school?
Yeah,
Yeah, the high school bands are playing, and that should be pretty popular.
that's gonna be a big crowd.
And that's
Oh,
an
that's
afternoon
gonna be
thing.
fun.
Yeah, and they all went to like the Goshen
The rock camp.
rock camp, and there. So I think there'll be a lot of people who probably went to that or are going now.
I was wondering if they were gonna be involved.
Yeah, they're. I mean, yeah.
What are they doing besides?
Well, some of the bands are, and I think they've been contacted.
Yeah, we asked them to see if they might be able to
Go on a
table,
table.
but it's just been I feel like since they're a seasonal thing, they might not be checking the email a ton right now. So hopefully they'll get back to us before the thing. I think we just sent them an email, so maybe if we could find a phone number and get in contact with one woman who runs it, we could that way we can get a direct answer like what they can table or what they want to do.
I went up there way back. I used to go up there to see what was going on with
Yeah.
Flywheel could do. June Millington, I can't remember the partner's name.
Reimbursement, but I was actually going to ask if you guys just wouldn't mind me doing an extra show in June instead.
So do a show at top of the one you already have.
Yes.
And have the money go towards your gas.
No,
the
just
show-
do another show.
Just an extra show. Just that would. Just
Oh, I
being able
see.
to book an extra show.
Oh, I got it.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like you're doing a lot right now. So if we give you a break and give you an extra show for a month,
Fair enough.
I'm fine with that.
Because I'm bad at.
But it's
collecting
tough because
receipts,
like
but that would
we
be
try
more
to
fun.
we try to reimburse stuff. The only thing is usually if something like that, we just have to make a decision as you before we like you were to
We
go.
kind of did.
Yeah. Okay.
We talked about going.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the reimbursement.
It's about like $35-40, maybe a little bit more, maybe 50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say 40 to 50.
Yeah.
But I didn't keep the receipts.
It's
So-
all good though. But thanks for going and getting the word out.
Yeah, definitely. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was an adventure.
Yeah, I'm going there on Wednesday. I'm gonna get the word out to some other people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And did you, I mean, other than seeing stuff, did you talk to people and make any connections of significance?
The only, I talked to a few people. The most significant connection was I talked for a decent amount of time to a couple people who run a space in just outside of New Haven
Oh,
called
yeah.
The Space,
Yeah.
and they seemed like good people, and so we exchanged
Definitely good to
information.
connect
We're now
with them.
Facebook friends. And
And is that in Hamden?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know one of the people involved with that. That's definitely good to like, because some bands from New Haven have been trying to come up here and vice versa. And it's definitely not a far drive, so it'd be good to continue a relationship. Or like, if touring bands need another show in Connecticut, we can give them a call and it'll work out good.
Yeah, and I know the woman who's organizing it, I guess, is in a band that's playing Lady Fest, and she knows Megan.
Oh, yeah.
So she was also excited that someone from Flywheel was there.
Yeah.
So that was
Awesome. Cool. So I think that's it.
Wind down, yeah. And in the announcements, did you talk about the box out there?
Well, I
With
put
the
out
key?
an email.
Okay, so everybody who needs to know about it gets
Yeah,
the info.
there's a
Yeah.
box, and there's I sent it out to the bookers.
Okay.
If they have questions they can ask me.
The only thing, I'm gonna try to help out with cafe tonight, but I just can't tell how consistently everybody's gonna be able to do cafe for small events. I hope that it continually staffed, but I think it's a hard thing for some people. It's like an afterthought, or is it? I mean,
Well, it's just got going.
Yeah.
Once
Train
it's,
people.
Yeah,
we gotta
it's
train
just gonna take a little while for people to get adjusted to it.
Absolutely. And you know the stocking and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we have to get a whole rhythm going.
Yes.
So in the initial thing.
But it's a good start. The other night I made it was like, oh, what was it last night? Maybe $15 in sales or $10. It was like, it was more than usual for the amount of people there. I would usually make like $7 to $8, so it was like double it.
Of course,
Yeah.
I volunteered for 6 of the dollars.
Yeah, you
You
guys
don't-
were sharing with those the drinks. That was cool.
You know,
Has your brother? So he came here before that too. This is like
Yeah, he's
hang
come
out
to a
here
couple
times.
shows
Cool.
with me, so
It's definitely good having new people hang and good times.
yeah, definitely. He's even maybe interested in doing some volunteer.
That's awesome. That'd be
So I'm
really
gonna
cool.
work on that.
Yeah, see what happens.
Even if I get another person to actually do
Yeah.
stuff on my show.
Yeah, because I mean, like you know, like I'm sure he's probably psyched getting out of Levo for a night, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering
Lee?
this piece that I'm working.
Did you happen to notice in the office?
Oh yeah. I there's a chuck that's in the drawer that I just found that fell behind the desk for Daniel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he's come in twice looking for it. And I'm like,
Yes.
it's on the desk.
No.
Okay, he
It's
said
on the floor.
I'll put it on the bulletin board. Like
I'll-
on this bulletin board in here. You know, the cork
Or
board.
you slip them under that.
I think we should probably put it like maybe somewhere like
Can we gotta start
Oh, the
with
lighting
bulletin
guy.
board.
Sorry. We'll keep them going though.